Yes. Hello, Looney listeners. This is Ray. Here I am. This is the last episode, reaction episode to the finale of The Age of Khonshu from Avengers Volume 8, 37. So I'll be doing a very raw kind of reaction episode to this. I've just read it today. We've got a bit of feedback to come to get through it, but we're just going to go through it. We're going to wrap this baby up. We're going to see what everyone thought of this run by Jason Aaron and what it means for Moon Knight, how he was handled, all that sort of stuff. So bear with me. This is a live stream, so welcome on board anyone who is streaming. This hello, how are you? If you want, try to jump in, say hello. I've got the messages open, and it'd be great if you have any thoughts on this final issue as well of the Avengers. Feel free to jump in. But I am your host, High Priest Khonshu Ray, and I'll be taking you through this. So bear in mind, I'm going to put in some post production stuff like the intro and the outro. So there might be some silences, or we'll see how it goes. I'll try to actually play. Also, we have some audio feedback. I'll play that live as well. I've kind of tested that, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, here we go, loonies. Let's get into it. This is our reaction episode. 3, 2, 1. Cue in intro music. Yes, welcome back, loony listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. This is episode 168. This is a short turnaround because 167 was just released, but we are here to do a reaction episode to the recently released Avengers Volume 8, 37. It's the finale to The Age of Khonshu, and I've got a stack of feedback here. I'd like to share my thoughts and my reactions to this Jason Aaron penned story, but also, I guess, how Moon Knight was portrayed, just thoughts for the future, that sort of thing. So welcome. It's really good to have you here. This is going to be a very kind of raw episode. I'm going to try to turn this around really quick sticks and get it out for you, the fair loony listeners, whilst the image of Avengers 37 is still fresh in your minds. But as mentioned, I'm High Priest Khonshu Ray. A big thank you to Patrinis as well. So a big thanks to Justin, Dustin, Derek, Anthony, Wayne, James, Jordan, Russell, and my God, if I forget, Josh as well. I haven't got my prompt sheet here because, again, this is off the cuff. So if I've missed anyone, but a huge thank you, Patrinis. A huge thank you to Hello Headphones as well. Justin, maybe Justin I've mentioned. Justin and Dustin and Derek. They are the executive producers. Can't forget them. But a huge thank you, guys. I've gone a bit crazy. Also, a big thank you to Hello Headphones, empowering gamers to play at their best, and Dreamland Comics from Illinois, the Superhero Superstore. So, Loonies, as mentioned, this is going to be a quick solo episode from me. We're going to go through Avengers 37 and the final part to it. So I'm going to try to do an off-the-cuff kind of bare bones, a synopsis. Then I'm just going to spurt out some thoughts I had about the issue, and then we'll get into some feedback really quickly because I'm really keen to hear what you all thought of this. Needless to say, I think it may have slightly not met up to the expectations that some of the loonies had. But anyway, we'll get to that. All right, so quick fire, Ray. Come on. This is bare bones. This is the synopsis. And the story, I guess, can be summarized kind of like this. So, Delita, if you would be so kind as to drop in some music to get me started. Thank you. Right, so in this issue, what we have is that Khonshu is in direct conflict with Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and the young baby Starbrand. And he is flaunting his wares with all the powers that he's gained, but Moon Knight as the Phoenix Force comes in and smashes the hell out of Khonshu and bats him to, to the next 20 suburbs across. So he sends him flying. Iron Man and Captain Marvel want to kind of, I guess, take Moon Knight in, but he doesn't want to. He just wants them to get away. So I'm assuming he teleports them away somewhere else. Meanwhile, Khonshu arrives. He gets smacked all the way back to New Thebes in the city, and he conjures up all his acolytes, them being the mummies, the Khonshu worshippers, and even now what we have are the Werewolf Guard. They all come out. They form an army for Khonshu, and he is pissed off, and he wants vengeance. So he's raised his army, but at the same time, who's there but T'Challa, who has caused him a lot of grief before, and so the Black Panther cuts a line through this army and defeats a lot of them before he gets up to Khonshu, and he goes toe-to-toe, Black Panther with Khonshu. What happens is also Khonshu then decides to summon the Hell Charger as well, because he has the power of Ghost Rider as well as the likes of Doctor Strange and Iron Fist, and he tries to use it, but at the same time Robbie Reyes comes in and he basically he busts in with an ambulance and he says, well, I want my power back. For some reason, somehow Black Panther and Robbie Reyes are able to extract the powers from Khonshu. Robbie Reyes gets his Ghost Rider powers back, and Black Panther regains the other powers like that of Shao Lao and the Eye of Agamotto from Khonshu by taking his unks. Meanwhile, Captain America and Blade and the Avengers fight their way through the mummies, trying to save Black Panther. They find him. He's all fine because he doesn't need no damn help. And he gives the power of Shao Lao to She-Hulk, and he gives the Eye of Agamotto, or Doctor Strange's Sorcerer Supreme powers, to Blade, and they wreak havoc on all of Khonshu's acolytes. In the meantime, a lot of battles ensuing. Moon Knight has a little bit of an introspective moment at this time as well. Mjolnir is finding its way back to Thor, and Thor finally returns from being buried under thousands of moons. He is pissed off as well, and he whacks Moon Knight to the next century. So Khonshu ends up being incapacitated by the Avengers. Good on him. Iron Man, Captain America, She-Hulk, Black Panther, Ghost Rider, Captain Marvel, Blade, and there's a little baby Starbrand there. They've got Khonshu in chains, and they've kind of won the day there. At the same time, Moon Knight has been walloped, and he has lost the Phoenix Force, I guess because he's kind of decided to let it go. The lingering threat of Mephisto is still there, so the Phoenix Force has decided to go elsewhere to seek another host to potentially battle Mephisto. And this then inevitably leads to a prelude to what will be Enter the Phoenix. So we see on the moon the mutants, Jean Grey and Wolverine, just have a little bit of a chit-chat about the coming of the Phoenix. So there you go, loonies. That is around about the finale to this issue 37. So I guess I'm going to kick off and say, look, there are two different ways you can appreciate this. I guess if you come into it as an exclusive Moon Knight fan and being a huge fan, which we all are, which is, nothing to sneeze at, you would be disappointed in the fact that there is very much a lack of, I guess, acknowledgement to the legacy of the character. So Moon Knight, I guess, can be argued, has been used in a different way, and a lot of the stuff has been neglected from him, from his canon. On the other side of things, if you're, say, like an Avengers fan, this whole thing, the Age of Khonshu, I felt was an enjoyable romp. It seemed to, I think, lack a certain depth to it, but it was a fun, kind of entertaining roller coaster of a ride, which had a whole array of characters. It had a whole lot of scenarios. There were big ones here, like, for instance, the big moments I think here was when Black Panther gives She-Hulk the Shao-Lao powers, so the fist of the Hulk. She becomes like an Iron Fist, the Iron Hulk. And when Blade gets the Sorcerer Supreme powers and he becomes basically Blade the Sorcerer Supreme. Those are kind of kick-ass, kind of fist-pumping moments, similar to previously in the other issues when Moon Knight became the Fist of Vengeance, you know, when he got the Ghost Rider powers, or when at the very start in the first issue, back in issue 33, when Moon Knight was accumulating these unks from the likes of Iron Fist and Doctor Strange. So there are really big kind of fist pumping moments to it. But I mean, other than that, if you're just looking for kind of superficial entertainment, then this will certainly do it for you. But if you are a huge fan of particular characters, like, and for instance, we are Moon Knight fans, I think you'd be disappointed. I mean, there were enough nods to his canon. I mean, even issues 36 had stuff like it went through some of his stuff. Like I mentioned him cutting the face off like Bushman. It mentioned Stained Glass Scarlet. You know, had these little touchstones to his canon, but I felt that was more kind of like token gestures. It wasn't incorporated in there. Look, I'm just spurting ideas all over the place here, loonies. There were the big ideas about like the Mjolnir being made out of moon rock, so Moon Knight being able to control that. So these, you know, pretty cool ideas, but they're essentially not like intrinsic to the character of Moon Knight. So I think that is one of the major failings of this event as a Moon Knight fan. So again, as an Avengers fan, I think it'll be enjoyable. It's pretty, you know, I think it's up there with the arc that was about the Ghost Riders. I'd be interested to hear what Ghost Rider fans thought of that arc within the Avengers, with Robbie Reyes meeting Johnny Blaze. I haven't read it all, admittedly. I'm going to pick it up on Marvel Unlimited and read it all. But what happens beyond that as well? Also, like the story with Dracula. I mean, they're all pretty cool, you know. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty of the actual characters, how are they placed in it? And I felt in this. Again, like one of the big things here was Moon Knight getting the Phoenix Force in the issue before. Pretty cool, you know, you'd think, you know. For me personally, it's starting to seem like everyone has a go at the Phoenix Force. It used to be just Jean Grey back in the day. Avengers versus X-Men, then I think there was like 5 or 6 of them. Namor, Colossus, Magic, Magneto, I think. They all kind of had a go at the Phoenix Force. So when Moon Knight got the Phoenix Force here, it was kind of telegraphed because we knew it was one of the ancient powers. So it's like, well, of course it's going to arrive, and who's it going to? It's going to inhabit someone. So I wasn't too surprised when Moon Knight had it. Some of the loonies, I think, found it was quite amazing that he did. We'll have to see. One of the other points I think is important here is the relationship between Moon Knight and Khonshu. So he's kind of actively gone against Khonshu now, and well, the last we see of him, he kind of used the Phoenix Force to smack him into New Thebes. So the relationship, I think, for the better part, has crumbled a little. I'm wondering, again, I guess the ramifications of this, what will happen later on. I'm thinking that we kind of view the Age of Khonshu as a self-contained story, and it's probably done. It will go, and hopefully when we finally do get a solo series, it won't take much from this. That's how I'm seeing it. I think still the main, I guess the main concept of Moon Knight has always been that street level guy, and again, Aaron had touched upon it in issue 36 about him being more attuned to the street level stuff. So it was fun to see him as a cosmic entity here, but I feel that this has no lasting power. It's kind of like a novel, or it's a gimmick that has been used that you know has served its purpose, which was just a little bit of light entertainment. But I don't think you can search any further than that to see if it, if there's going to be any consequences to the character of Moon Knight. That's how I think, anyway. I guess overall, I would give this issue maybe a 6 out of 10. It's not a fail, but it was entertaining enough. But the shortcomings for me was this lack of. I mean, the ending seemed to be a bit of a fizzer as well, and it seemed very much actually to be just a lead into Enter the Phoenix. So what I find is that the whole Age of Khonshu, the importance of that and the significance of that has been totally undermined with the ending by Moon Knight just having this Phoenix Force for a little bit. He kind of gives it up. He gets smacked by Thor with the Phoenix Force to go, and we're led to the next arc. That's how it ends. I mean, and it ends with Khonshu just in chains, like a common criminal in front of the Avengers. We don't even see like the reinstatement of power to Doctor Strange or to Iron Fist, anyone like that. We see Ghost Rider, which is good, but we don't get any of that. So I feel the ending was a little bit weak in that regards. The main strength for this whole arc has been just the fun ideas and the action, but like I said, it doesn't hold much depth to it, which is a shame. Also, I guess what else am I looking at? I had an idea there. It's escaped me now, but just Khonshu as a common criminal. The whole idea, I guess, Mephisto is still around. That's exciting. I think it's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the plans Aaron has for Mephisto. I mean, obviously, he's a very powerful being. He's seemingly defeated here, but he's still lingering around. I wonder if people might feel kind of exhausted at the fact that Mephisto is still, like, he's still hanging around like a bad smell, if you know what I mean. I don't know. So a 6 out of 10. The artwork was pretty cool. Khonshu's drawn very well. Moon Knight's drawn very well as well. And I like some of these action shots. I mean, there's a splash there with Thor twirling his hammer, very cool. And yeah, just Moon Knight with the Phoenix Force. He's got the kind of gold over his white. So that was a good look. I thought. But yeah, maybe we go to some of the feedback. Let me just have a quick look here. If we have any, I'm just going to have a quick look. I don't think I get it up through Get Focal straight away, but I'm just going to jump onto our group, and I'm going to see if anyone has potentially. No, nothing yet, so that's cool. Anyway, we're going to go straight to some feedback. Might as well. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kick off with, and fingers crossed this works. I'm going to kick off with some audio feedback first. Pardon me. Excuse me, one sec. Itchy nose. Audio feedback first with Phil the Drop King. So I struggled to try and get this to play live. Bear with me, but loonies, hopefully we do. So here we go. I am going to leave it to Phil to drop in his thoughts. Hey, well, that was Phil. So thank you, Phil, for that. Very cool indeed. Yeah, interesting thoughts. I mean, a lot of it similar to what I thought as well. I did think that was pretty cool with Iron Fist and She-Hulk, but I mean, again, it was just like the one page, so uh, not much is happening there, and pretty much a lot of the action is off panel as well, because before you know it, Conchu's kind of trained up on the Hell Charger, so we didn't actually see much. So that was a little bit disappointing. Maybe it need to be a double size finale. I don't know. But no, thank you so much, Phil, and thank you once again for your drops. They're always fun and entertaining when you least expect it. But that was Phil, the Drop King Phil from Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatic Sidekicks. So be sure to catch his shows. They're featured. He's a very prominent podcaster. Just do the search there. We'll have the link in the show notes to Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatic Sidekicks. But thank you, Phil. Yeah, really, really cool. I think your gradings, pretty much on par, kind of like with what I'm thinking. And I guess we'll hear what other loonies have to say about this. And the first one I want to go to is Orion Petty Clerk. So at OP_Doki on Twitter. And Orion said, what the hell is Moon Knight without Khonshu? I feel like Age of Khonshu did more harm than good for Mark. Again, I would have been fine with it if this were in an alternate universe, alternate what-if story. Can't help but agree with you there, Orion. I think I would love this as like a what-if or an Elseworlds or this is another reality. And for the most part, I'm hoping it pretty much is. I'm hoping it will be pretty self-contained. Like Khonshu has been incapacitated. I guess that's the only lead as to what will happen to him. Moon Knight has been kind of beaten, and the Phoenix Force is gone. All the other powers that he had are stripped as well. So he's back to his normal self. Hopefully that's good enough to just reset him. But the only lingering thing I think is Khonshu. What happens to him? Have they kind of have they, I don't know what's the word, jailed him? Have they confined him now? Or will he escape and will he be free again to influence Mark? And what of their relationship as well? I mean, it seems quite fractured because there's a huge betrayal that Moon Knight has done to Khonshu. So thank you so much, Orion. Yeah, really good thoughts there on the relationship between Moon Knight and Khonshu. What happens there? All right, I'm going to move to now our Facebook, where we got most of the information, the feedback for. So thank you very much, loonies. And I'm going to open with the power of Chad. His no special effects there. Again, this is raw. Oh, actually, mind you as well, I forgot to say, so some of you may have seen on Facebook and all that, there was a live stream that was not meant to go live. I was doing some testing. So if you did see that, apologies. Not that you saw anything bad. I mean, geez, I'm glad I wasn't doing I'm glad I wasn't walking around in my undies or anything like that. But you probably saw me and Finn. I was just doing some audio tests. It was never meant to go live. So I've deleted it now since discovering it, and Eve told me. So thank God she told me. Otherwise, it would still be floating there. But please disregard that. That was all for the setup, the lead up for this reaction episode. So hopefully the audio for Phil came through. That was what it was all about. If not, I mean, the podcast, I'll punch in it in post-production anyway. But hopefully I can just use this file. That's how lazy I am. Anyway, so this is from Chad, the power of Chad on issue 37. He said, just finished this issue. It's quite meh. I loved seeing Robbie drive his Wambulance till it died, and I love to see the Iron Hulk and Hunter Supreme be long-term additions. Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool. but the story just dropped off, and I feel like all the Mephisto garbage wasn't remedied in the slightest. The teaser leaves a few things open, but not stuff I care about exploring, and we don't know the last note that Mark's fate will land on. 5 out of 10. Now, thank you, Chad. As always, very honest, and basically, I think you share a lot of thoughts to many loonies as well. Yeah, it seemed to just peter off, this ending. There was the big finale was this fight with all the werewolf guards and the mummies and Khonshu's acolytes, and the fight with Khonshu. But like I said, some of it was off panel. Moon Knight's interaction with Thor was off panel as well. You see Thor come up to him and say, "I'm going to smite you in the face," or something like that. And then before you know it, you see Moon Knight in a crater. So a lot of it missed opportunities, I think. But thank you, Chad. As well, yeah, Iron Fist, She-Hulk, and Hunter Supreme, or Blade as Sorcerer Supreme would be pretty fun. Again, I'd like to probably just see that in a what-if scenario. I don't think I'd like to see it in the real continuity or real universe. It's again just a little too gimmicky for me. But anyway, again, good ideas, but not really lasting that much. Billy Brooks says, "Damn, I hated it. Once I said Aaron wouldn't write a good Moon Knight, and people didn't believe me. And here is the proof." Well, thank you, Billy. There's no mistaking what your thoughts are there. Yeah, and again, I'd have to disagree to an extent in the fact that Jason Aaron did have some funky ideas. He made them fun, but yeah, rightly so. I don't think he really got Moon Knight. He used him in an innovative way, and well done. And sure, I mean, at the end of the day, characters are just tools for writers to work their stories around. But it would be nice if there was a little bit more respect to the legacy of the character in it, without just merely referencing the characters. I mean, I like the site, even Mr. Knight, say Warren Ellis, when he introduced him, I mean, that was a radical change. And it's hard to compare, like, I guess because people gravitated towards Mr. Knight and thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure traditionalists would have thought, hey, there's only Jake, Steve, Mark, and Moon Knight. There's no such thing as Mr. Knight. But we've ended up liking Mr. Knight. Maybe that's a similar comparison to this, but yeah, I don't think this has legs. I don't think, I mean, for one thing, the whole story, it's kind of ended, it's closed out. So Moon Knight hasn't got any of these powers again. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's nullified. But anyway, thank you, Billy. Rick, the Rick Ball special, he chimes in. He said, "Started off great with 33, but oh man, the quality dipped at 36, and this issue was fundamentally bad. Art was solid, but the writing from Jason Aaron was shocking. To use an anime term, it felt like filler for the more important arc Jason Aaron was working on with the Phoenix Force, and it unfortunately shows." Yeah, Rick, I would agree with you there. That's the impression I get. The way it ended, it just seemed that was it. It seemed, I wouldn't say that from 33 up to 37, it seemed like he was building towards the Phoenix Force, but definitely the moment I saw the Phoenix Force in issue 36, and the moment we got that announcement that the next arc would be Enter the Phoenix, it's like, okay, this arc, the Age of Khonshu, has already ended at 36. I mean, the rest of it is just going to be, how does that lead into the next arc? And that's how I felt, and I assume that's the way you felt too with what you've written, Rick. So thank you for that. Midkind hits Susan. He's another loony who I've had the absolute privilege and honor to have had on the show as well. He's on an Isle of Ra. Midkind points out that definitely disappointing. Not going to read any team book by Aaron now on. Now, if a solo by Zdarsky gets made, though. So, yeah, Midkind had not too happy with the way that this kind of played out. So, yeah, understandable. But, yeah, I mean, I think there was an interchange here with Midkind and Rick. And, yeah, true. I think the solo character books are solidly done by Jason Aaron. I mean, you've only got to look at Thor. That I haven't read it all, but that's been lauded, and it seems like it's a defining classic of the character. As for his team books, I mean, the Avengers have been okay. They haven't been overly fantastic. They've been enjoyable, but they've all had that same feel for me as like being very popcorn and very light. But maybe that's what Avengers books are meant to be. I don't know. Maybe you get the meat in the solo series. But thank you, Midcon. We've got another one here from Gabby, and she mentions, I really ... didn't like this one at all. I don't know what else to say except I wasn't fully on board since the very start, and with every issue, I just kept slipping further off the wagon, and now here we are. Jeez. Yeah. Gabby, thanks for that. Yeah, certainly. I share your thoughts as well. I think I found it. I don't think it necessarily for me got worse and worse as the arc went along. Actually, 33, I really enjoyed. I actually appreciated the pacing of it. I thought it was really quick to get out of the way all of that exposition. Then the second part, it maintained that pace, which I found a little erring. And I thought, well, we need a bit more substance to it. By part 3, we finally got it, which I thought was good. And we got that with the Khonshu-centric arc. And part 4 came along. Again, a whole heap of action, a lot of fun. But then once that Phoenix Force started, it was like, oh, okay, so it's going to be a lead-in to the other one. And this last issue, again, a lot of fun, a bit more samey stuff. And essentially tied up neatly. I mean, it was well written in the fact that it was done quite neatly. But I mean, what about the fun we are to experience and appreciate as long-term fans of the character? Anyway, thanks for that, Gabby. And then we have also another couple here from a couple left. Clifford Alvarez. Clifford, shall I say, aka Scott? Just saying. Anyway, Clifford says, this arc started well with an intriguing premise, then went downhill fast. The final issue just showed this was a filler arc to get the Phoenix Force in. Seems like there are common thoughts here from a lot of loonies. Shortchanged Moon Knight and was a low point in this Avengers run. Wow. Thank you for that, Clifford. I haven't read all of the Avengers run. I found the first one with the Sentinel pretty slow going. I didn't really enjoy that. I liked the vampire, the Dracula one. I thought that was pretty cool. The Ghost Rider one, and I haven't. I didn't get to read the Starbrand one, so I'll be reading all of that in Marvel Unlimited. But again, I mean, I found this pretty much the samey with the Avengers run so far. Bit hot and cold, pretty middle of the road. But yeah, I mean, of course, if you found this to be a low point, then certainly, especially if you're a Moon Knight fan. And I just wanted to point out Rebecca, fellow high priest, she did say totally agree to all that Clifford said. So thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, it seems again a similar reaction to this issue and to the run as a whole. So yeah. Okay, let me just see if there are any. Okay, so maybe got some comments here. Oh, I'm gonna just mute that. Robert Ferrer. So you're saying, growing up, I looked up to Khonshu. I thought he was a hero. That idea really got lost, like really, really. Good morning, by the way. Hello, Robert. How are you? Sorry, I'm just seeing your comments now. So I'm actually looking at it by looking at the video on my iPad of the live stream. And Robert continues, I'm not loving this new stuff either. I'm with the general consensus. Yep, you certainly are. And I think we pretty much has said the same thing. So thank you, Robert, for weighing in. It's pretty cool to get some live feedback. But yeah, you certainly are not saying anything that many other loonies are saying as well. So yeah, so thank you so much for that. Anyway, loonies, we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly. That was it. I just wanted to get some reactions there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pump this out. I'm going to get this podcast out there, but the live stream is out there now. So please be sure to check it out. If you are here, it's early morning, I think, over in the US. So good morning to you all. It's nice and dark here over in Australia. But thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Maybe I'll do a quick little capping end-off thing, and I sometimes need my prompt sheet for that. Anyway, I'll just do it now. Anyway, as always, please, if you can, check out patreon.com/ITK Moon Knight. As mentioned at the top of the show, have some many cool, very grateful to have a lot of patroonies supporting the show. If you listen to it, if you're listening to this live stream, thank you so much as well. Your support is always appreciated. But if you want to get some bonus incentives, just check out the Patreon, and it's for as little as $1. You can get some stuff. I think I've just released today the ITK Digest. That's for mid-October to mid-November. You get a preview as to what the next 5 or 6 episodes are to come, plus updates on our audio serial drama, our fantasy comic league, also our Patreon news, stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. Go check it out. Big thank you once again to Hello Headphones, empowering gamers to play at their best. If you use the code ITK Moon Knight on their online store, you'll get 10% off. And a huge thank you again to our other sponsor, Dreamland Comics, the superhero superstore. Again, if you punch in a code Moon on their online store for back issue comics, you'll get a whopping 20% off. We're also affiliate members of Entertainment Earth, so any purchases made on Entertainment Earth through our link will help prop up the show as well. So a huge thank you there as well. You can drop us a line anywhere. We're there mainly on all the social platforms. Email at itkmoonnight@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, maybe you're watching now. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Get Vocal. We're on there now. What else am I looking at? YouTube. We've got a website, intothenight.libsyn.com. Ratings, if you want to rate, please do on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. That really helps us get out there to some loonies or some Moon Knight fans who may want to just listen to my odd rambles on this. But anyway, please do. Lastly, part of the collective, some like-minded podcasts. We generally are kind of banded together on Twitter. If you check out hashtag #TheCollectiveNet, you'll see that it should. What we do is share and promote each other's work. So if you see something with hashtag #TheCollectiveNet or do a search from there, you should pop up with a lot of shows from all the other collective members as well. So a huge shout out to all of them and the likes of. I'm going to call out EMP, Earth's Mightiest Podcast, a really cool podcast ranging from the Avengers, X-Men, Deadpool. They've been going on for yonks. So a great bunch of blokes. We also got To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast. I'm on that one. It's relatively new. Later this month, Saren and I will be interviewing Carla Pacheco and Perry Perez, the current creative team over on the Spider-Woman book. And finally, I'll give another one out to Sons of the Dragon and the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. So a big shout out there to Connor, Carl, and Rebecca are doing great work covering all of Iron Fist's comic book canon. So there you go, loonies. That's it. Thank you so much. Apologies if I haven't seen any of your live comments. I'm sure you don't want me to. I'm sure you don't want to just watch me kind of clicking away and trying to find your comments. But I'll respond to them offline when I do see it. But a huge thank you. And as always, I'm going to get out of here. Going to pump this out. And as always, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Have a good day.